So in this video, I want to walk you through how you can solve and treat your trochanteric bursitis in under 10 minutes. Remember, it's a bursa that sits on the outside of your hip. It gets smushed and irritated in between the outside of your joint and the gluteus minimus and medius and some of those deep muscles. So what I want to walk you through is how we can stretch it out, how we can actually recruit and fire the right muscles to decrease the irritation within that bursa, and then even a self-tissue kind of release to help get some blood flow in there, help to decrease the irritability and kind of get you back on track. So for trochanteric bursitis, I want to show you a really great stretch to kind of get right into that area. So what you're going to do, now I'm on the ground. I encourage you to get into the position that's most comfortable and easy to do. I think you're going to get a better stretch if you did it on the ground, but you could absolutely do it on the bed as well, which a lot of you will be wondering. So you're going to take your affected side. So if this is your affected side being your left side, I'm going to grab the ankle and I'm going to bring it all the way to the ground. Once I've done that, I'm going to then pull my knee towards the ground as well. And at that point, I feel a good stretch right through the trochanteric bursa area. Okay, so I'm taking that bursa, I'm taking the muscles, and we are stretching out that area as best as possible. So if this were my right side showing you in this position, I'm going to take my foot. It's okay for my body to kind of rotate over. I'm going to bring my foot up as high as I can go. And then from there, I'm going to bring my right knee towards my chest. Okay, and you can kind of use both hands to help pull that up to feel a good stretch in there. Okay, and since I'm in this position, I'm going to go right into the massage. So I'm going to use a lacrosse ball. You could use a tennis ball. You could use a golf ball. I personally like lacrosse balls just because of their density. But if you're super irritable, a tennis ball may not be a bad idea. So we're going to basically take that same stretch position as I pull this up and across. I'm bringing my knee close to my body. I'm going to use that lacrosse ball and I'm going to massage right around the hip. So just so you can see a little bit better, I'm taking my lacrosse ball and I'm going right around the trochanteric bursa, which is right here, and my hip joint is sitting underneath there as well. So we want to kind of massage right around that area, but we want to do it when we're in a stretched out position. So that's why bringing the leg up and across and over exposes that area, because otherwise it's tough to find those kind of areas that are super tender in just a regular seated position. So I found that if we put it on stretch first, we bring the leg up and across, we can really help to rejuvenate, get some blood flow in there, and decrease any tension. So the way that we can fire muscles to help decrease the burden on that bursa is to get our deep extensors in the hip firing better. A lot of times the muscles on the outside of the hip are kind of overworking and the glute max and some of our deep extensors aren't doing their job. So we can simplistically fire those muscles by lying on our back, driving the hips up towards the ceiling. Make sure that you're not getting it through your low back. Make sure you're getting a good glute squeeze when you're driving it up. So this is me arching with my back. This is me engaging my core first and then curling up. And of course, we want to do the latter. Once you're up there, what I'm going to ask you to do is keep your hips up as high as possible as you go into a march position. So I'm not going to let my hips drop even the slightest centimeter. I'm going to try to bring each knee up as close to my chest as possible while I try to keep driving my hips up toward the ceiling. So if you do 10 reps of these on each side with this type of pace, I found that to be very helpful for getting the process started to start rejuvenating the glute max and some of those deep extensors, because what we're ultimately trying to do is get that femur and let it sit right in the middle of the acetabulum where it should be. With those with trochanteric bursitis, I've found that it tends to want to slide out into the side, and it's really important for us to start thinking about how you are sitting, how you're standing, and how you're walking, because I tend to find that a lot of people aren't doing those correctly when they're putting more irritation on the trochanteric bursa. But that being said, try that stretch out. After the stretch, try a little bit of a self massage in and around that area. And then I'd say, in that order, go into the bridges with a march and see how you feel. That usually takes under 10 minutes in total and can be a really nice kickstart to decreasing the pain and help getting you on the right track. So thanks for hopping on. I hope that helped. Take care.